What's going on, everybody? Doc and Sloth, we're back into some more Rocket League action for the Average Gamer, guys. And today, we're bringing you, finally, it feels like it's been a while, but we're finally bringing you some first bit of news for the first Rocket League Pro Tournament, I guess you could call it, of 2018. Going on this weekend, the 26th to the 29th. And it's got some crazy times, so I'm going to just give you that piece of it up front. Crazy times that hopefully some of y'all can watch. I know I will try to a little bit on the weekend, I guess. We get some like late night times, which is decent, I guess. But it's going to be interesting. So if you guys aren't familiar, Dreamhack tournament going on. It's 24 open teams followed by 8 invited teams. We'll give the list here in just a second of those teams that got invites, and they're I'll tell you, they're some of the big names. So a lot of folks familiar, especially if you're familiar with Rocket League and pro scene and all that kind of stuff. But so 32 overall teams, pretty cool. Like I said, open signups, $50,000 prize pool. And what's neat for us is if you do get a chance to end up watching and are able to kind of catch the streams, or if you're over in Europe, which would be really, really cool, then these are going to be at perfect times for you. Then you're going to have the chance to pick up fan rewards, the much coveted fan rewards. Isn't that right, Sloth?
I can't wait to get another Mount Champion cover.
That's exactly what it is going to be, yes. or some cool hustle brows, you know. You might get those certified or something. Let's see, that guy didn't
Honestly,
go.
I'd take it.
That guy didn't go. These guys are just not going.
This is, I mean, we've had somewhat of a hiatus from Pro Rocket League for a little while, since basically not RLCS, but dang, what was the one that the G2 won not long ago? That was our last big tourney.
That's a
Well,
good
it was
question.
televised, right? E-League.
Yeah,
E-League Cup.
Yep, E-League Cup. That was kind of the season 2017 finisher, if you will. Oh, you're there for that, and I'm going to
There you
be here for this. Yeah, so speaking of teams, like I said, 8 invited teams. You got Flipside Tactics. Wow. Blech. Well, they got the 3 in there, so it made it hard. G2 Esports, Gale Force, Guess Who, which is formerly Mocket, Method, NRG, PSG, and the Dudes. So that's a pretty stacked, I'll be honest, that's a pretty stacked lineup. It's basically going to be, as we typically see, here's my thought. The open teams are going to get crushed. No offense to them. We might have a couple standouts. The rest of them, basically your final couple of brackets are probably going to be your RLCS teams. Let's just be really honest there.
No, what was that first team? Flip Flop Tic Tacs?
Yeah.
What they were?
Well, it's flip side, and the E and the end is a 3, so that just got me all discombobulated, I guess.
You don't speak Leet?
No.
All right,
no,
fair enough.
No.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty standard for what I think we expect in kind of open tournaments. We're going to have the teams that are just going to do well, the RLCS teams that are just going to tear
Words are
stuff
hard,
up.
aren't they?
I'm having a hard enough time breathing. I'm sorry I sound terrible, but that's kind of what we expect anyway. It's going to be tough for a lot of people to watch in the Americas, but I'm glad we're getting another really solid European tournament. Because last year we had Dreamhack Europe, and then we ended up having Dreamhack Atlanta shortly after it. So to be honest, I'm not actually sure what the schedule is for the American tournament after this, but we'll be sure to have all that stuff covered as well. But
Just like I
over in Leipzig. Yeah, exactly. I think this is the first major tournament we've had in Germany. I did not expect it to come off the inside of that post.
Yeah. Honestly, you'd be a little bit better of a subject matter expert on that, but it definitely is favored to the Americas. We'll just put it that way. Which I live in America. go Freedom, you know, so I'm not mad about it. And you probably needed that boost. But yeah, so it is going to be kind of hard to watch here. So it is Central Eastern European time. It's 3 days, like I said. It's the 26th to the 29th, so plenty of chances to watch. If you're a night owl or you work like, I don't know, the graveyard shift and then end up staying up after that, you'll get a chance to catch it. The first day starts on the 26th, obviously, at 1:30 p.m. Central European summertime, which means for us, if you're on the Pacific, you're going to get it at 3:30 a.m. and then subtract 3 hours from that for those of us on the East Coast. And then if you fall somewhere in between, do the math from there. So, like we said, not the most wow, I thought that was going in. Not the most beneficial for us in the Americas, but I do think we'll be able to catch it. The 3:30 time makes that a little bit hard. The other days get a little bit better. Gosh dang it, I suck.
Can we just say that the European time zones sound like they just threw a bunch of stuff together?
Yes.
Central Eastern summertime? I don't.
Yes, it's good, just like
Silly
my Rocket
Europe.
League skills. Day 2 is 1 p.m. all that crazy time, which ends up being 3 p.m. Pacific. And then the final day is actually at 1 p.m. Pacific, or 1 a.m. I keep saying p.m. 1 a.m. So these are like first thing in the morning. But that one is actually probably the most watchable, although if you have to go to school or get up early for work like normal human beings, you're probably going to have a hard time watching the finals. So the nice thing is, as they always seem to do, they'll probably broadcast it somewhere later or put it up on YouTube, so you'll be able to catch it then, although you don't get the fan rewards. So that kind of sucks. But it does look like it's going to be, like I said, with the 8 teams that are going to be there, honestly looks like it's going to be a really good tournament. Pretty excited for it. I think it's going to be pretty neat. Obviously, getting back into the RLCS kind of mode of things with the pro scene and getting these tournaments. We've talked about it before. The more tournaments, the better. That's just the way it is. So super excited for it. The stream is going to be on twitch.tv/Dreamhack Rocket League. So be sure to check that out. We're going to link the announcement from the official Rocket League page down below. So if you need a place to get there, go check that out. Go check that link, and we'll have it down below.
Neat.
Yeah, and that's really it. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. Hopefully you can watch it, go out, get some fan rewards, watch these 8 teams probably beat up on a bunch of other teams. But, you never know. Maybe you see some surprises, maybe some of the open teams. And we really don't know. That's the one thing that'll be interesting to see. This is the first chance we'll get to see some of the team switch-ups and some, mess arounds and see what they've been working on, too. So I expect a lot of these teams to come out. If they didn't have a good showing at RLCS last year, you can bet if they've been invited to this, obviously they're trying to win the money, as I would, but also just for the sole fact that they're going to want to come out, they're going to want to start the year with a win or at least a good showing in these tournaments to really kind of solidify themselves. So I think this is going to be a really good tournament. I think from this one, you're not going to be able to obviously see what they're going to look like at the end of 2018, but I think you'll be able to get a good glimpse of how some of these teams have kind of prepped it in the quote-unquote off-season prior to this tournament starting up. So it'll be really interesting. Super excited. So I'm not going to put Sloth through anymore because he has a hard, as you heard, hard enough time breathing as it is. So I'm a Doc. That's been Sloth, Average Gamer Guys, covering some Rocket League news. Get out there, watch. If you get Titanium White Apex, please don't tell us. We don't want to know. We'll just cry. But hopefully you do if you do get a chance to watch. And as always, just thanks for sticking with us for a couple minutes during your day. And hopefully you enjoyed the Rocket League news.